Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining this week's Broadcast Tuesday. The topic for today is 4 keys to attracting your ideal client. And I am joined by Tina Kadish. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning, Tori.
You're so
How
happy.
are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, I'm doing great.
Good. So as you all know, we provide education to not only Allison James agents, but agents all over the country. And that is something that we really pride ourselves in. So we appreciate each one of you who tune in every week. Every week we have different topics. We try and kind of expand. We do finance, we do marketing, motivation. We'll do something real estate specific. We like to keep these very diverse for you so you don't get bored of us. But thanks for joining us this week. So like I said, today's topic, let's get into it. The 4 keys to attracting your ideal client. And like I mentioned, we're joined by Tina Kadish. So Tina, do you just want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you so much, Tori, for this opportunity to speak on this topic to all of you. So I'm Tina Kadish of Life is Ideal, and I began my journey as an entrepreneur in 2012. Well, my business, Life is Ideal, was created then, and it came after I was laid off from corporate America, and I was in training and development. And although I loved what I was doing, and I suddenly found myself laid off. And I embarked on a journey of trying to figure out what did I want to do next. So I was really in pain. I was rejected. I was angry. I was just frustrated. And so I had never been laid off. So it was really out of my comfort to be in that situation. So I just, through networking, I met a woman that introduced me to a tool that I share now with my clients on discovering their passions. And I learned that one of my passions was to be a full-time entrepreneur, transforming women's lives primarily, but I do work with men, primarily women, to really discover their passions, loving what they do. Too many of us are not loving what we do. So I'm sure all of you real estate agents out there love what you're doing. I hope that you're living your passion. It's very important to do that. So I started my business because I wanted to share that message that too many of us are not passionate. And I rebranded myself also in 2015. And I now am a business coach where I help entrepreneurs grow their business, improve their relationship with money through 5 strategies. And one of the strategies is what I'm going to be talking about today is attracting your tribe, attracting your ideal client. And how do you do that? So that's where I am today.
Well, I love it. I know I said this before we jumped on, but everything happens for a reason. So the fact that you got laid off, but you seem very happy with where you're at. So
yes, not always, but it's a journey.
Just like any industry, right? No matter what you do, not every day is going to be the best, but you should always try and make it your best day.
Yes, absolutely.
So the 4 keys to attracting your ideal client, they're very simple. We have who, what, where, and how. So let's go over each of these specifically, starting with who are the ideal clients.
Okay, so it's always important to know who do you serve, who are they, what attributes do they have, what characteristics do they have. Now, as a real estate agent, okay, you're going to be offering selling a house to someone. So, how do you differentiate yourself? So who are they? Because everybody has different needs. So you really want to get to know who they are and not make assumptions. People want a home, but what type of home? What are their lifestyles? What are their needs? And it's very important not to make an assumption that you think they know what they need, because a lot of times we have to educate. And that's one of the mistakes that we might make, is that we make assumptions that we think we know who they are, but we really don't. So really get clarity about that, to really know who they are and what characteristics. Do they, is money an issue with them? And when I say issue, I mean, is money something that it's important, like what type of house they want. And, money is something that you need to know where they're coming from in terms of money. What can they afford? What kind of house? Are they baby boomers, or are they first-time home buyers? Are they single? Are they, young family with growing children? So it's very important to know their characteristics, their attributes, when you're thinking about who they are, and understanding what solution you can provide them. So really getting clear on who they are is important.
So it's like analyzing and then building that relationship on top of the analysis.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So what solution can you offer to the challenge they're currently facing?
So now what solution you need to know as as an agent yourself, okay, so what solution do you provide? What makes you different? Like for myself, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I call myself a freedom strategist, and I help primarily professional corporate women to get clear on what they love to do, discovering their passions. But I also help entrepreneurs grow their business. So my solution is that they will get the clarity, they will love what they do, they will make money in their business, they will not be overwhelmed, they will not be stuck, and really be passionate with what they're doing and generating revenue. It's about generating revenue. So as a real estate agent, you're out there and say, okay, what makes me different? Okay, what are the challenges that my client has? And let's dig deep to their challenges, and really get, asking questions. I highly recommend, ask your potential client questions, doing like a needs assessment. Okay, they want to sell their house and they want to buy something else. Well, but really digging deep. I can't emphasize enough about the questions that you need to ask them and to really get more information from them. What solution, and then you can figure out the solution that you have. Okay, I will only show them these type of houses in this area because they've already identified to me their lifestyle, where they want their kids to get education. For myself, for example, my husband and I are selling our home right now. We are right sizing. We're baby boomers. We might not want in a neighborhood with a lot of kids. We want to be in the over 55 neighborhood where there's no kids running around. We want to have a quieter area. But the agent needs to know that. Ask us questions. Where are we in our journey of life, I call it, our process.
I think that's important for you to emphasize as well. And I love that you did, because sometimes people are afraid to ask those questions, and you really shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be at all. You should really ask questions, because that's the only way you're going to know. And, we have to differentiate ourselves. So what makes you different? Real estate agents, what makes you different? How are you different from anybody else? I'm a coach. What type of coach am I versus another coach? Because there's too many coaches out there as well. So what differentiates me? What solution? So for me, it's about helping you to find freedom and helping you to get clear on your passion and growing your business, and helping you through my 5 strategies that I coach my clients in growing their business. So not everybody does it. But at the end of the day, it's the know, like, and trust you. Okay. Do they know you? Do they like you? And will they trust you to do business with you? Okay. So that's very important to really, and that's developing relationships. That's one of the things. You want to build relationships with your clients. It's not just, okay, I'm selling a house, I'm going to get a commission, and then I'm never going to see them again. No, I have known real estate agents that I've worked with numerous times because of the relationship that I've had. I like to stay with the same person. As a matter of fact, the woman that has our house listed is someone that I know and has a great track record. But it's watching her, seeing her results, that led me to work with her. So it's about relationships.
Yeah, relationships. We talked about this before on a few other broadcasts and even some of our webinars that we do, that having that relationship built is where you're going to get some of that business from, because you, knowing your real estate agent, for example, when someone comes and asks you, hey, do you know someone? You're going to recommend her. So
exactly.
That influence from the building that relationship will bring business to you because of
Exactly. And another thing you want to know, like in asking questions, are they a first-time home buyer? Like, for example, my daughter is single. She's never bought a home. So a real estate agent working with her would have a different experience than working with me. She has no clue about buying a home, knows nothing about the experience about buying a home. So the education piece for her might be higher than you would do with a baby boomer. I have, had in our lifetime 3 houses I've gone through the process. So I have a better understanding of that experience. But you get a single or first-time home buyer, I'm not gonna say single, first-time home buyer, it's an experience. I remember my first time. It was scary.
Oh yeah.
It was scary. The whole financial piece, education is huge. It's huge.
Yeah, definitely. I wrote that down too. Your know, like, and trust. I love that.
Yes, you need to know, like, and trust them. They have to trust you. They have to know and like you. Otherwise, you're not going to do business. So how can you separate yourself from everybody else is huge.
Definitely.
Very important.
So we've gone over the who, we've gone over the what, now where. So where can these people be reached?
So that's where knowing who they are and their characteristics, their attributes, it's the networking. It's where can you go? So attending different meetings, associations, wherever you can network is important to find them. Whether it's online, if you have an online presence. So there's different social media platforms. And again, it's what value do you provide? What solution will you provide your ideal client? People don't want to be sold to, as many of you know. They want to, again, know, like, and trust you. They want to know that you're providing value to them and not just be sold to, because too many times we're being sold to just because they want to make a sale. And then you're gone, you're done, you made the sale and you have no relationship. But you never know. Referrals, like I would, tap into your referrals. Like, who do they know? Who's looking for a home? Let them know that you're around. So creating an online presence is important, but also the face-to-face, attending different networking meetings, any association that you can join that is in your industry is very important. So really knowing where they hang out, because that's the other thing. If you know your ideal client, you'll know where they usually hang out. Okay, so they might be at a different location than a baby boomer. Maybe a baby boomer is not going to be where a younger person is going to be. So you really need to know who they are in order to know where they congregate.
Definitely. And like you had said, even if you're finding someone on the internet, you still want to build that relationship, whether it be face to face. I found you over the internet. We know the internet can be powerful. I found you, and you responded to my email, but immediately you said, let's get on the phone, because you're following exactly what you're teaching us today. You want to build that relationship, not just over email, because that's not going to
Exactly. And this has been a journey for me. When I first started my business, I would take any client because I was desperate. I want to make money, got to make money. But after time, it's really working with the right person is important too.
Yes.
And if it's not aligned with your style, then it's time to separate yourself from them. And the money will come from the right people. And I'm a firm believer in that the money is here. It hasn't left the planet. And there's many fish out there. So coming from an abundance mentality versus a scarcity mentality is important. And so when you're out there, you know that they're going to be coming to you. You're going to manifest them, but it's really your mindset too that creates that. So just, going to the places, connecting with them. For example, my process is I have a 30-minute call with a potential client. And if they're not right, or if my coaching doesn't fit what they're looking for, then I will pass them on to maybe someone else that might fit. So it's really, you're sharing but you're working with the right people. So even in real estate agents, you need to work with the right people, because there could be those buyers that could be high maintenance, or there could be the ones. So really, it has to fit with you, is what I'm in a nutshell.
Yeah. And that's great that you don't just take the clients, you actually analyze them, and then if they aren't a good fit for you, to pass them on. And that's a really good lesson that any entrepreneur can take with them. If you're not building that relationship with your client, it's not going to be a smooth process, and you should probably consider passing them on to someone who will have that relationship with them. And they're going to respect you. That's huge.
Absolutely. The respect and just like I said, not just taking the money because you want the money. It's not about that. At least for me, it's about, who can I serve? How can I, when they walk away from me, my credibility, my reputation is important. So I want to make sure that people, when leave me, that they feel good about it, and so that they will refer me to someone else. So it's important for all of you out there that, what experience are you creating for your clients today, that they will remember you after the transaction is completed. It is so important.
Definitely, definitely. And that leads us right into our next question, which is actually one of my favorites, and I'm excited to hear you talk about this one, is how can you best engage with these individuals who are your clients?
So it's getting back to what I said. I think I kind of said things all together. It's really about the experience that you want to create for them. And, another thing on what I didn't mention is some of the buyers, they might have beliefs, like limiting beliefs. They might have these beliefs that perhaps they're not going to find the right home in the area that they're looking for. And that creates some, could be stressful. I know that the whole transaction of buying a home, and I've also sold and bought at the same time, that's even more stressful, is really understanding what their beliefs are, where they're coming from, because this is a financial transaction. And knowing a little bit about their beliefs around money could also help you to solve a problem for them, because it's not just the house is being sold for this amount and this is what they're willing, and they've been approved for a mortgage and everything's going to go great. But there could be something that's holding them back. There could be some beliefs. So knowing that as well can help you, to figure that out. But the best way to engage is just having a conversation. So the online is great, but also on the phone, who can you call? Making calls. I know that making calls is not something that might be a favorite of ours, but I'm sure that in your industry, you have to make a lot of calls. And, or meeting people face to face. You're always on the road, and you're always attending different events, different conferences. And that's really, I think, but the best way to engage is, I believe, could be, if you're able to face, who can you connect with? Who can you talk to? Get to know the person, as well as the online is good, but there could be a better connection maybe in person or on the phone.
Definitely.
On the phone as well. You get to feel how they are.
Yeah, and that kind of brings up a little topic for me, because as real estate agents, it's hard to engage with every single person. Phone calls, of course, are important, and face-to-face is important, but I help people write their bios. And one of the things I tell them to do is, don't just talk about real estate. Talk about something personal. What did you do before real estate? What are your hobbies? Do you have a family? Where did you grow up? Where do you live? Because it's going to help build that online relationship. And then when you have that phone call or that face-to-face with someone, they may have something to talk about. They could say, oh, I read your bio online and I grew up here too. And then you already have that relationship built.
Exactly. So it's getting to know them better. And like you just said, it's knowing their hobbies, knowing what makes them tick, like what do they do? Why did they get into real estate? What led them to that journey? We all have, I started as an admin assistant and I went to college later in life, and I was majoring in marketing, and I ended up in training. Then I went into recruiting, and now I'm an entrepreneur. So we all have different phases in our life, and that lead us to where we are today. But now I get to be an entrepreneur, marketing, I'm training, I'm helping other women who are in the same experience that I've had. And so we come full circle at times. We really do. But I love what you just said. Get to know them, their hobbies, where they grow up, why do they like the area? What led them to come to this area? It's really important. And you're really getting to know them. It's getting to know the whole them, not just a piece of them.
Exactly. You want to get to know, for example, Tori, the real estate agent, not Tori. You want to go know Tori as a person, not just Tori as the real estate agent, for example.
Exactly. It's so important. So as you're looking at your ideal client, it's really, understanding them and the whole family. knowing their family, their kids, what do they do? What kind of sports do they do? Do they do sports? What does the husband do? What does the wife do? Or, if they're not married, get to know your client. And that's really where I said earlier, the asking questions, digging deeper, and I call it peeling the layers of an onion. It's really getting deeper into, understanding who they are better as well.
I love it. I love everything you're saying, and I hope everyone else is doing this too. Do you have any final thoughts? I know we pretty much touched on everything, but just like some final key words and something that you really just want these people to take with them today.
I just, well, again, thank you for this opportunity. I've enjoyed it. And I hope that I've connected with some of you and, that have listened to this. Maybe there's something that I share that resonated with you. I know that the information on how to connect with me are available to you. So love the opportunity to connect with any of you. And the right client is there. Just keep thinking right here. It begins here. That the right people will come in your space. Come from abundance versus scarcity, and be authentic, like really being authentic, and that is so important to be true. Like one of my values, know your values. My value is integrity. And that's one of my values. And having that integrity is so key. So everything around my life is around that. And so knowing yourself, being authentic is so important. And I know that there's a lot of competition. And I know that, as an agent, of course, there's competition. You're dealing with a lot of different variables, but be true to yourself and the business will come. You will find the right people that you are aligned with, that you want to be aligned with, because otherwise your job, again, it goes back to the passion, loving what you do. Will it become a passion or will it be a pain? Okay. That's the thing, because sometimes we could be in pain.
Yeah.
And you don't want pain. We don't want pain. We don't want pain. We want pleasure. We want fun. Every day you're doing something that you love to do. At least I hope you do.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and talk to our agents who are viewing today. And like Tina said, in the description of this video, we have all of her contact information. We have everything in there: LinkedIn, Facebook, her direct website. Feel free to go to those. She has a lot to offer and a lot to share. And we're very glad to have had her on here today. So
thank you. Yeah, I'm on Facebook, and I also have a group on Facebook, Transition to Freedom with Tina, it's called. So you can definitely find my group there, and I would love to connect with you and get to know you.
Definitely. Well, thank you again so much, Tina, for joining us. And thank you to everyone who viewed. Like I said, take advantage of the links that you have in the description. Tina, as you can tell just by this 25 minutes, that she's wonderful and just full of so much insight. So take advantage of what she has to offer.
Thank you, Tori, for the opportunity. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, Tina. Have a great day, and we will talk again very soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.